Yeah.
So glad you're here on the Todd and Don Show. Jump in here at 512-836-0590. So the Austin City Council is probably going to vote next week on a resolution that would put on hold the Austin Police Department's training academy. In the midst of this ongoing racial allegation that's percolated from Austin City Hall and the APD. You got some top brass that are involved in some horrible language. And nobody's really denying it. Everybody's pissed because, well, everybody involved is complicit in some sort of cover-up. They were trying to keep this out of the public. Now, the delay in the training is very interesting because we are short police officers desperately.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you recruit police officers to a department that's under investigation for institutional racism? Why would you want to come work here if you're a person of color? Ken Cassidy is with the APD.
We welcome more training of our police officers, and we welcome a thorough, honest review of our departmental practices. What we don't welcome is a stoppage of any police academy. We're currently allowed 1,959 officers, and we are presently at 1,789 officers. That's 170 vacancies. These vacancies have also caused Chief Manley to place a freeze on any movement of our patrol officers until April. Quite simply, this is demoralizing to our officers. The citizens of the citizens of Austin and our officers are in danger with a staffing shortage of this magnitude. Any stoppage most likely will cause irreparable harm to our department, which could take years to recover from. The department recently hired a civilian training specialist. Dr. Sarah Villanueva will be conducting a total review of the Training Academy's curriculum and should be consulted before this council makes any sudden and reactive decisions on delaying the much-needed cadet classes.
That's Ken Cassidy from the Austin Police Union here in town. And I guess we got the perfect storm going. This is probably one of the most controversial issues this city has ever faced. One of the biggest, one of the most inflammatory, and one of the most toxic kinds of debates and controversy that we've ever faced in this city. We haven't been like other cities across this country that deal with this on a day-to-day basis. But we are now. And we're dealing with this major issue in the midst of a homeless crisis, in the midst of a complete rewrite of our land use codes. All three incredibly big issues that affect every taxpayer in this city. Jump in here at 512-836-0590.
Well, I guess it's, first of all, it's a reminder of what true racism is, if indeed this is what's going on, because people do need a reminder because, as I was saying earlier, it's all gotten muddied. People come up with their own definitions of that, but it's hard to believe that this is something that could be actually going on in our police department here. It is kind of hard to ignore what is apparently a real lack of diversity in some of the higher positions there, and some of the people that have been passed over.
Well, let me catch everybody up to date because some people are just now waking up and tuning into this story. It goes deep. There are many layers to this onion. Officer Dusterhoff fired a couple of years ago because of some sort of sex video that was circulating. He had it on his phone. It was him and somebody else. Those are the allegations, and he knew he was going to and he got fired for it. And he was fighting to get his job back in an arbitration hearing. And he told several people before the arbitration hearing that I'm not going down alone. I'm going to reveal a lot of dirt on the top floors of APD,
right,
including the details of Assistant Chief Justin Newsom using the N-word to describe a former Assistant Chief Frank Dixon, how to describe the former City Council member Ora Houston, who's a wonderful woman, how to describe fellow officers in the presence of subordinates and supervisors using the N-word.
Yeah.
Racial slurs, used it in text messages and openly. And he's not denying it. In fact, he warned the police chief, Brian Manley, hey, this is probably going to come up in Dusterhoff's arbitration hearing. I just want you to know to give you a heads up. And everybody kept quiet about it. It all came up in the Dusterhoff arbitration hearing with a bunch of city lawyers who went back to the city council, went back to the various departments, including the city manager, to update them. And there was this general vibe of let's keep it quiet. Let's don't let the public know. This could be incredibly inflammatory and bad. Well, now it's all out. Dusterhoff revealed and said a bunch of things in that arbitration hearing, which, oh, by the way, he will probably get his job back because of all of this and how he handed the video over. So here we go. Chief Brian Manley will probably be forced out as a result of this. Troy Gay, the number 2 guy at APD, he may be forced out in all of this. He's got his own controversy he's dealing with as well. All of these people, Newsom, Dusterhoff, Troy Gay, Manley, are all the ones that had their hands on the failed DNA crime lab, the rape kits that sat on the shelves. Remember that? You know, the refrigerator that broke and all those cases were lost?
Yeah.
Jump in here at 512-836-0590. It's Kevin in Cedar Park. Good morning.
Hey, Kevin.
Good morning. I'm curious if if I was a young man wanted to become a police officer, I'd want to go to somewhere where they enforce the law, and not somewhere where it's a sanctuary city, and I'm not able to do that. I'm curious if that's part of why people don't want to be police officers in Austin.
Well, that's one reason. There's also this war on cops across the country, but if you got a police department that's run this way, that may be a deterrent as well.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not a factor, but I'm curious if the other factor too.
Maybe. You're absolutely right. Michael on the Todd and Don Show.
Hey, Michael.
Morning, Todd and Don. Guys, love the show. Listen to it every morning.
Appreciate it.
So, look, I think that we've got a real problem. We can't attract officers into this city, which we need very badly to take care of our citizens. You can't attract them in with racism at the top ranks. Now, there's probably going to be an investigation, but I bet you what ends up happening is Manley retires.
Yeah. He was due to step away in February. I think he's waiting for a certain marker in his career. I think he's been on the job 30 years, and that his increased level of retirement package. And this whole process will probably take that long. I wouldn't be surprised if he does fade away sometime February, March.
Well, and if there is a big investigation that goes on, can it affect that retirement? Because this is going to be a big deal. And if this gets drug out and they say, look, we want you out now, before that date, too bad, then he's got a real problem.
Well, if they did that today, if they say, we want him out today, you're fired, then he still has due process under the contract to have an arbitration hearing to keep his, to keep it all. That would take months, and by that time he'd be out.
Right, exactly. So the people of the city of Austin lose. Either way it goes. We lose because we're going to end up paying him a big retirement now, and this has been going on. I think they should backdate it to the date that he knew that this was a problem and say, look, that's when your retirement date stopped. When you started being complicit in this, that's when your time clock stopped ticking.
Yeah. Well, that would probably be October the 31st. That's when Officer Newsom abruptly resigned. He said he was aware of the allegations against him and had acknowledged using inappropriate language. Austin Police Chief Brian Manley has apologized for not addressing the allegations more quickly, has acknowledged that he missed several chances to do so before the claims actually sparked this firestorm. This could have all been solved before the Dusterhoff hearing, which is how everybody found out about it. Jump in here at 512-836-0590. John, real quick in Austin, what you got?
Yeah, I'm a young black man out here in Austin, Texas, and I'm not surprised about all this. But my question to everybody, I like what the last gentleman just said. I mean, that makes very logical sense. But my whole thing is Austin just hired a diversity officer, and I'm a diversity and inclusion specialist. I would really like to know, and his job is to come into Austin and make it more diverse through all hiring systems and city Austin systems. And I'm very interested to see what's his part in all of this, or what's their take on what's happening right now in the city of Austin.
Good point, John. The entire city council was aware of this before it all surfaced. The entire city council, including Spencer Cronk, are complicit in all of this. Jump in here, 512-836-0590.
The Todd and Don Show.
Beautiful.